Yeah, today we are up in the Granger Bartlett area. Coming to check on a good customer of ours, aka Farms. They've got a pair of 8250 flagship combines, and we are going to go and see how those are running today. We're gonna check in on the wheat harvest, be sure our grain losses are at a minimum, be sure these MacDon heads are running like they should be. So how long have you been farming in the area again?
Well, much all my life. I've, after graduating college in 2003, so 2004, so about 21 years, but probably about 15 years with it, really both feet, in the water or in the fire, however you look at it.
Yeah. What's your favorite grain crop to do? You like wheat or corn better?
I'd say corn. It can be a challenge. It seems like I'd say a challenge. You just never know what you got until you get it.
How long have you been running flagship combines?
Since 2018, we started with 80-30 flagship combine.
So what are you doing with your wheat mainly now? Who are you sending it to? What's your methodology behind selling it? Are you holding on to it? Or are you selling it off the turn row? What's your norm up here?
Our norm for wheat is we just harvest it, put it in the bin, and then truck it out, sell it short order. Soon after harvesting, we got to get our grain bins empty.
So what's your typical time of year that you're getting wheat in the ground? Are you fertilizing before you put it in, or are you just planting it straight in? I know we had talked some about no-tilling your corn residue.
For wheat, we no-till it right into our corn residue. I mean, that November time frame. A little fertilizer with the seeds. It'll come with nitrogen in January. Fungicide application in end of March, harvesting in May.
Do you ever have any other plans for a second crop behind wheat, or typically too dry so you just spray it and let it lay fallow?
Yeah, typically we just spray wheat after harvest, keep it clean, let it lay fallow. I've in the past tried a few times the second crop, double crop. Our summer just always turn hot and dry and burns up. The amount of inputs you put in, it's just hard to get a return out of. And then it's gonna still cost you some yield on the next spring crop you grow in too. You're gonna lack some of the management that you need to do just in getting out the second crop.
Yeah, something I noticed different in this area when I first moved up here was there are a lot of very old style rigid or flex auger heads instead of drapers, but I know you've always ran drapers since I've met you. What was your turn of events of getting into a draper and realizing that's what you wanted to stay on?
I had a 40-foot auger head, and in wheat I realized that my limiting factor was not my combine, but it was just the main wheat into the center of the head and putting it into the throat of the combine. And it's kind of what helped steer me towards the draper head.
What is driving you to keep going on even though we struggle with things like input prices and commodities?
Just once you get a ball rolling, you just gotta try to keep it rolling, right? And you got, of course, I still got a lot of years left in me to keep trying to make a living, and my other partners, along with my employees, or they depend on a paycheck, keep them and their families fed. So just try to keep going. Come over here to this end. I got to calibration.
What about working with us in a smaller company has been a benefit for you that you've seen over the past few years since we started working together?
There's some advantages to working with a smaller company. It's more personable. You know who you're talking to. They know who they're talking to. Seem to get more, better response when you have a relationship with somebody.
What's kept you in Case IH since you've been in? Combines, quad tracks, hay tractors.
I think one of my first big red pieces of equipment was a walk track.
540?
540. And the reason I went that direction is, John Deere didn't have a walk track at that point. Kind of went red in that regard. And it's time to look for a combine. And Case flagship combine had some appeal to me. I heard some pretty good reviews for it, so I just kind of went that direction for those two reasons. Just kind of stayed with it. I haven't had any reason to change since those decisions.
Rusty Nail Cafe